might accidentally write OV for of and start to wonder, hey, why is there no V in of? Or a child asks you why we go slowly but not fastly. Maybe a colleague in another country asks why look over the report and go over the report are both good, and look it over is fine, but go it over is wrong.
A lot of questions there, right? Why do we pronounce certain words the way we do? For example, colonel has no R in it. Why doesn't so rhyme with new? Think about it, they both end in EW, but they just don't sound the same. Why is that? You know what? Let's ask a linguist.
Erica Okren is the author. Highly irregular, why tough, through, and dough don't rhyme, and other oddities of the English language. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Hi.
So first I wanted,
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to ask you, because it's funny, I'm teaching my 5-year-old son, helping him how to learn how to read, and you go through some of these words, and like colonel, and the way it's spelled certainly is not the way that you would think it would be pronounced.
Right. English is full of these things, and we get along. We use it, we're fine with it, but then a child asks you a question, or a colleague from another country asks you, and you get all ready to explain, like, okay, there's got to be a logical explanation. Here's the rule. And as you start to explain it, it just crumbles in your hands because there is no explanation. It's not logical. It doesn't work how you think it should work.
So when you organize this, you're saying that you often had trouble coming up with an explanation for some of these questions?
Yeah, the questions are things that you don't generally think about as a language user. But then when someone asks you, you have the impulse to explain because you think, well, I know English and I know the rule and I'm going to tell you the rule. And then you realize there is no way to explain it. And that this book is to help you find the explanation. It's not always a logical explanation, but there is an explanation for the why of why English is the way it is.
Let's go through a few of the questions here. Why the silent L in could, would, and should?
Yeah, that one we can blame on the printing press. The structure of the book is sort of who do we blame for all these things? And if you go in order, you get this is the history of English. The reason for all these things is the history of English. And could, should and would have an L in them because those words were from shall and will. And that makes sense. The L is there. We don't pronounce it anymore, but it got stuck in the spelling and that it got left over. But could never had an L. It comes from can. And but because the spelling, we're so used to seeing the would and the should, and could, would, should make a natural triplet, that the spelling, we evened out the spelling so that they would all kind of look the same, even though there was never an L in there in the first place. So we like things to look a certain way too.
Okay, let's go through a couple more examples here. Here's a good question. Why no couth, kempt, ruth when we've got uncouth, unkempt, and ruthless?
Yeah, there's so many of these unpaired negatives in English, and there's a lot of joking about it, but usually those come from, we actually do have those words, couth, kempt, and ruth, but we had them and we stopped using them. They're from the past of the language, and somewhere along the line we formed the negatives with those words. The negatives went on to have a life and a future while the positives faded away, and then we've lost the connection, so we don't know why they're stuck in these negative constructions. But we only have endings and prefixes and suffixes that form negatives out of other words. We don't really have any that form positive out of negative words, so we don't end up with the reverse situation.
Almost makes me want to bring some of these words back. Like maybe we can start an effort, like your room is very kempt.
Yeah.
Does that work? Erica, does that work? We're not sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we do see gruntled being, thrown about sometimes.
Gruntled, yeah.
Well, here's another. So you answer some other kind of fun questions, like what does eggplant have to do with eggs?
Yeah, right. Well, there's no eggs in eggplant. What is that from? But again, it's a historical reason. When the English sort of brought eggplants to England, they didn't eat them at that time. They were considered poisonous and strange, and but they were garden ornaments. And the first eggplants they brought over were the ornamental eggplants that were tiny white fruits, and they looked like eggs, and there was nothing more natural than to call that plant an eggplant. It's a plant that looks like it has a bunch of eggs on it. But then later we started bringing in the larger purple eggplant and using it for food. And in England, they started using the French aubergine for that more edible fruit. But the Americans had already left by that point, taken the eggplant word with them, and there was no reason to change it once the plant and the fruit changed. And so we kept the word. We like to keep things sometimes, and we like to get rid of things sometimes. And eggplant just stayed. We got used to it.
Yeah.
We wanted to get to one more. Why is it 11 and 12 instead of 1 teen and 2 teen? I feel like a lot of kids probably have that question.
This is one of my
too.
favorite questions you listed us here. So
Right. Where should you expect logic in language? The number system. Numbers are a system. There's no place you're more likely to find a logical, systematic form. But 11 and 12 are left over from the very oldest layer of the language, because those numbers are used more commonly. We didn't used to talk about 450, but the numbers up to 12 are very basic, and those old words, which were themselves like 1 leaf, 2 leaf, became 11, 12, stayed because we just use those so much more often. And the words that we use the most and the most frequently tend to keep their forms and reflect the oldest layers of the language.
really interesting examples there. Erica, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Erica.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
And there's the website there, also the Twitter handle.